I will note that everyone is here, aside from Alder Don Herbst, who is excused. First item on our agenda is I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from July 19th, 2022. I have a motion from Alder Watson and a second by Commissioner Brueggemann. Any discussion? Oh my gosh. I was looking at your face when I turned and then, I'm sorry.
I don't want him to be down today.
No. Borneman has seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all of those in favor of approving the minutes from the July 19th meeting can signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? That carries. Thank you very much. Next up is the discussion and possible action on electing the committee vice chairperson. We don't have a vice chair for this committee technically, so we'd like to do that. So if there is anybody who would like to nominate somebody to be vice chair, and we can vote on that. Yes, Alder Watson.
I would nominate Bruce.
All right, we have a nomination and a second of Bruce Bolkin to be the vice chair. Do you accept this
That
nomination?
means I might have to go to another meeting.
I mean, you're already here most of the time.
Okay.
Okay, he has accepted this. Are there any other nominations? Otherwise, maybe I would ask unanimous consent to close and accept the nomination of Bruce Bolkin as our vice chair. It looks like, okay, so moved. Second by Watson. All in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All righty. Thank you. You are our vice chair, Mr. Bolkin.
Thank you.
Yes. All righty. Next up is item number 3, discussion and possible action on amending the specific implementation plan at 16 Fulton Street to allow for a signage in a planned unit development zoning district. Maybe before I take a motion, I will have Mr. Lynch give us a spiel.
Right, so this is a request for a permit for a sign, and it's pretty straightforward. You can see in the packet, there's a rendering of what the sign would look like and the dimensions of it. It fits within the requirements of the on-building wall sign. It's going to be unlit, and it'll be on the east side of the building, so facing River Drive. But since there wasn't signage addressed in the original plan for the building, that's why we have to bring it back here to do an amendment. So.
Okay. Any questions or perhaps maybe a motion?
Motion approved.
I have a motion to approve the signage. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion here, questions? Okay, otherwise, all of those in favor of amending the specific implementation plan at 16 Fulton Street to allow for signage in a planned unit development zoning district can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you. All righty, next up, item number 4, discussion and possible action on the Alexander Davis final plat. I don't know who wants to give a quick brief on this? Okay, thank you.
Sure. So this is the final plat for the old mall site, or the Alexander Davis plat. As you'll see in the staff report that went to SISM, there were a couple items that were highlighted by the city engineer. The creation of the outlots, because they're not dedicating to right-of-way with the plat itself, it creates landlocked parcels. I would state that in the developer's agreement with WAS, that there is a contract that they will dedicate that back to the public. And as you can see, the plat was actually updated recently saying dedicated to the public. So the state has also been contacted on that, and they agree that that is adequate for them right now for approval on that. There is also the other item that was highlighted was the TID boundary. It cuts through part of this, and so that will also be in the process of being amended in the future as well. So a little bit of history on why the outlots are being presented in the plat versus just dedicating to right-of-way. So that The developer's agreement actually contemplates that that property will be deeded to the city first, and then the city will take those forward and dedicate that to right-of-way. And that way, in the future, if that property ever becomes vacated again, it will come back to the city for control of that property versus to WAS at this point. So that seemed to be a pretty good idea as we brought that forward initially with the developer's agreement. It complicates things here a little bit, but it shouldn't hold anything up. And so this is really pretty clean and straightforward for that. But you can see where the streets will lay out, the developable properties, as you've heard a lot about. Lot 4 is the initial development that is going to be brought forward here soon, so, and has been discussed.
Is there a motion perhaps, or further questions or concerns?
Motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion to approve. From Brueggemann, second by Bornemann. Any discussion or questions? Otherwise, all of those in favor of approving the Alexander Davis final plat can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries unanimously. Thank you. Item number 5 is our next meeting date, September 20th. And I guess we're at that point where we have, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. I have a motion by Watson and a second by,
Second.
oh boy, Bulkin. All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.